happen now. It happens like 3-4 years to the future. That means that in their side of the house, all of their arguments about Trump winning because China bad might be true for now. But in the future, after 4 years of Trump's presidency, after Trump replaced all the ministers with his friends, with his cronies, who have no idea what they're doing, then people will realize that campaign strategy like China bad is not winning for you. And regardless, Trump cannot rerun for presidency in 2028. The path is open wide for Democrats. In fact, I would just say, whoever the fuck we're going to endorse in 2028, we're probably going to win. Not only because Trump is bad, but because Trump has no real, charismatic replacement under him. So I think the question then becomes, what really can guarantee us the win? And after we win, what really can guarantee us the sustainability for the future? This is very similar to Obama in 2008, by the way. After Bush's horrible presidency with all the war crimes and stuff like that, Obama wins because of the censorship policy. Because you knock common sense into the people. That, hey, what Bush was doing in the past was wrong, and I can do something right. Not by radicalizing your voter base to go to the left, but by introducing things like Obamacare, introducing things like, we were allied with a lot of individuals, for example, that want to vote for Democrat. Regardless of you supporting LGBT or not, you can still support our working class and stuff like that. So that probably means that insofar as the debate still happens in the future, a lot of their characterization, despite well done, maybe, like decently done, is not really something that we should buy in the debate. But the first argument that we push for opening opposition is that far-left candidates create a worse political messaging. And this is very important because all of the ideas for opening government is contingent on the fact that people will listen to what you have to say. The things that you say will actively be understood immediately by the people. It is not the case for 3 reasons. The first is that because we told you there will be way more censorship in social media that people interact with the most. They say, you can just frame this as a simple policy. We go against big corpo bad, you good. It's not likely going to look like that in social media platforms like X, especially with the empowerment of Elon Musk during Trump's presidency. You will have far more ability, for example, to censor these kinds of news, to necessarily isolate these into echo chambers of leftist people who are probably going to go much more minority in social media platforms that they interact with every day. Even Latino voters did not turn out to vote for the Democrats in the previous election. And the reason for that is because of the powerful messaging in social media that necessarily changes their mind on whether or not the Democrats are actually good. But second, this is aggravated by hate to big corporations as per their argument. Because they have even more reasons to hate you. They say, let's find a common enemy. Because Trump won by picturing immigrants as bad. Well, guess what? Big corporations are not immigrants. They are not Springfield Haitians who are like less than 10,000 people in number. These are big corporations who actively have a lot of money, who can donor a lot of campaign, who will channel way more money to Republicans because right now they are scared. They are scared that if the Democrats win, they're going to be shut down. They are scared that if the Democrats win, they're literally not going to have any, working ground in their side of the house. Like again, this literally companies with huge power. And necessarily, you're not necessarily going to change anything in their side. I would argue that the reason Leah said, "Oh, Trump, you cannot just make conflicting characterization." Trump did. Why? Because they were using advanced analytics, right? At the same time, Trump says that they want to save Wall Street. But at the same time, Trump also says to the poor farmers of Iowa that necessarily we're going to give you way more money and we're going to give you your job back. And I think these conflicting characterizations can win Trump insofar as they use things like advanced analytics to generate passion and to generate people to necessarily vote. But lastly, why did Harris really lose? Because a lot of the policies are similar to Biden. Harris lost because she was a woman. And imagine if you endorse a more leftist candidate like AOC hardcore policy. What is the proof? Again, we will claim from LO. Jill Stein was not getting a lot of votes, especially in swing states like Pennsylvania, demonized because of radicalism. If you push way more leftist propaganda in their side of the house, surely you're going to have way less voter turnout. Surely you're going to have way less amount of people who are actually going to vote for the left, because if you vote for Democrats, you vote for far left, as opposed to voting for common sense. Why is this important? Because this is your main campaign strategy and you're likely going to lose just like 2024. Your revolutionary policies of saving people, abolishing student loans and stuff like that will never materialize in their side insofar as you cannot make sure that the people will vote you to begin with. But also you're unable to actually deliver what you want to actually say insofar as the medium to communicate between the party and the people on the ground are going to be significantly intervened by a lot of individuals who have certain interests that is pervasive against you.
If AOC cannot win because women, just pick Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, man.
Active, suitable. Same logic. If we cannot win with Kamala Harris because Harris is a woman, the mechanism for LO is that we're going to endorse fucking Tim Walz, a man, with the same policy. Surely we're likely to win fucking suck. But secondly, let's assume that everything that they say are true. Who are the voters? Because they claim that you're going to create a lot of friction within intersectionality. I would argue that a lot of people who vote Democrats are not people who are necessarily far left. These are military members who choose to say, I want to protect my wife and my daughter, but I'm still religious in nature. So what they're essentially saying is that you're isolating the majority of your fan base. You're forcing them to necessarily choose whether you're a leftist or whether you're religious, whether you're a leftist or whether you want to work in your, I don't know, like capitalistic company and stuff like that. So a lot of people who voted for these individuals are people with conflicting ideology that you are going to really isolate in their side of the house. Exactly the friction against the centrist, especially a lot of Democratic people are going to hate and shit on your two most prominent Democratic members right now, which is Harris and Walz, who are centrist in their side of the house. Again, the friction, the internal dilemma within the Democratic Party is far worse in their side. What is likely to be comparative? Okay, what is likely to be comparative in Gov? We are going to force the Republican to either go to the right or be in the center to lose. Why? Because a lot of individuals already know that the Republican economic and centrist policy are bad. A lot of experts claim that, like Trump economic policy cannot necessarily work and the leftist economic policy is better. And what that probably means is that either they can stay in the center and lose because they already know how horrible the execution of the policy is during Trump's 4 years, or we can force them into the defensive. They have to go to the right. They have to exactly cater to a lot of these big corporations, for example, because they have no choice at all for engaging us in the battle of the median. So all of their impacts on forcing Trump to the defensive, forcing Republicans to go even right, is significantly achieved more in our side of the house, insofar as you're more likely to gather support from individuals. You're able to knock some common sense to individuals that we are not a far left party. We're a party that cares about the people. If you want to make yourself and America great, you should vote for us as opposed to the Republican. And this is only available in our side. Insofar as in their side of the house, you're both equally radical. Or if they go like center and you go left, they are the ones that can knock common sense to a lot of individuals. Because people are going to hate the far ideologies in either side of the house after Trump presidency, it's far more ideal for us to knock for the center and aim for the best. Thank you.